Hello and welcome to the League of Extraordinary Atheists for Humanism, where we attempt to apply logic and reason to religion and politics. I'm here with my wonderful, beautiful co-host, Christy Santiago.
Jello, everyone. And I'm saying Jello because in the chat, instead of saying hello, I said Jello. So we're just going to go with it. Jello, everyone. Happy Friday.
Jello pudding.
What are you going to do? You know, you have to make it work. Mistakes happen and you make it work, I guess.
True that.
Jello is delicious.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with Jello.
With
maybe certain flavors like peach mango.
That's weird.
Who likes mango anyways?
I love mango. I could eat them right off the tree.
Don't eat the skin. Don't eat the skin.
No, don't do it. It's caca.
Yeah. Also, some people have allergic reactions to it. So
yeah, they should give me theirs.
Their skin?
The mango. Well, I do put the skin you can put in your juicer and get all those vitamins. But yeah, if you chew it, you can keep chewing it, and then there'll come a point when you're like, I'm still chewing this. Why am I doing this? And then you'll still keep chewing. So don't eat it.
Gotcha. Yeah. Didn't know that.
It's just some people do. They eat it like apples. I've seen it done. I watched it like this. What are you doing? No, I love mangoes. Mangoes are delicious. So we'll start off with mangoes and Jello, and we have a show tonight that involves neither. So that's how we do.
Yeah. So obviously, our main and only topic tonight is Mortal Kombat. The movie comes out tomorrow. I'm extremely excited about it. We're talking about brutalities, right?
Yes, we are.
So, yeah. So if you're not seeing it, oh, well, hello, Stacy.
Hello, my friend. I've been missing you.
We missed you too.
Your bean.
Yay.
And you can't hear Nacha, but the Lord is here.
Hi, Nacha. I feel you waving back.
Yes,
I feel it. I got it. Right in my heart.
Ah, I love that.
Or
she has a heart on.
Or I have a big,
she has
big
a heart
on.
You're welcome. I'll be here.
I feel like I need a heart on.
I can send you one.
All of a sudden, I feel underdressed.
Okay. We were talking about how we are attempting to apply logic and reason to not hard-ons, though.
Oh, okay. Are you on?
We're so live.
Hi. What? Sorry about that. Please.
No, it's all good. All right.
Sorry, please.
So I'm glad everyone's enjoyed the pre-show of Jello, Stacy, and Mortal Kombat in no particular order.
And Senior Bean.
Yeah.
Yes.
And TV to me, it's wrong to like Scorpion, I guess. No, not necessarily. It's just wrong to only play Scorpion. It's effing annoying. Just is.
What about Centipede?
Of a character. Huh?
What about if you play Centipede? That's how old I am.
Yeah. There's, that's Centipede's a great character, but also not really a character. But that's okay. No. You don't need to know that. You do need to put your camera back down, though.
Did it?
Come back.
She got a little shorter.
There we go. Ta-da.
All right. So on to real things. Now that we've got a couple smiles out of you, hopefully, we're now going to resume trying to depress the shit out of you.
Grab your tissue.
So get your diapers on and
hold on to your tits.
No, hold on to your shits.
Yeah, that too. That's the second half of the show.
All right. So there's been a lot going on the last few weeks. As kind of always, but a few things have really come to a head, and that's what this week's topic is about. Revisiting defund the police, because we have the Derek Chauvin case where he was found guilty on all charges, which I believe was first degree, second degree, and third degree murder, or just third and second.
Not first degree murder. It's
Okay.
like manslaughter and second degree manslaughter.
And third degree murder. I know there were 2 different degree ones in there. And your camera fell again, Christy. I'm sorry.
Yes, but it just wasn't first degree murder.
Say it again.
It was not first degree murder, but yes,
Okay.
it was second and third degree manslaughter and something else.
Okay.
He did get a
So-
felony murder though. I just don't remember which one it's under.
They haven't yet sentenced him, but they did set the date, I believe, today, which I don't have on me, but that doesn't matter. We don't have the info yet. So that is a win, right? That's like that. He was tried and convicted. That is a win.
I agree.
This is not. I feel like the next thing I have to talk about is Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you guys saw this. Oh my gosh.
Second degree murder.
Okay, hold on. It's second degree murder.
The faces of 40.
Here, I'll just read it to you. Chauvin faces up to 40 years in prison for second degree murder, up to 25 years for third degree murder, and up to 10 years for second degree manslaughter. And he's probably not going to do too well in there. And I'm a humanist, and I don't want anything to happen to anyone in prison, even him. Like
Right.
I
He
just-
deserves to be in prison. So okay,
Absolutely.
this is something we're gonna have to come back to. I actually don't want to get into this
the
this
weed.
yet.
Well, let's step out of
Yeah.
it and keep
Yeah.
canoeing down the calm river we're talking on.
Yeah. We can really easily go down a ton of rabbit trails tonight, and I want to really try to make this a little bit linear.
Good word.
Or maybe even just circular, but like a straight circle. Like right back to
Why
the
can't
beginning.
it be a
Oh no. Are you still there? Nacha, can you let me know if she's gone or I'm okay? She broke it. Okay, it's still me. I'm here. All right. So while Christy's faces at me like this, I'm going to try to continue. Nancy Pelosi gave a speech soon after Derek Chauvin was found guilty. And this was extremely frustrating to me. This is pretty disgusting, but I'm going to go ahead and read. Thank you, George Floyd, for sacrificing your life for justice, for being there to call out to your mom. How heartbreaking was that? Call out to your mom, I can't breathe. But because of you, thousands, millions of people around the world who came out for justice, your name will always be synonymous with justice. And now we have to make sure justice prevails in the sentencing. But you know, that's its own procedure. Just the first half of that. Just the first quarter of it. Just the first half a sentence. Thank you, George Floyd, for sacrificing your life for justice. I feel like the word sacrifice is being misused here, just a lot of it. I feel like that has to be a conscious thing, to sacrifice your life. I think Christy knows where I am at this point. I hope.
You're right there in your living room.
Yes,
Talking
no.
about straight circles, and I flipped the lid because what's wrong with gay circles? That's why I shut everything down. I was over it.
I get it.
It was an
But
accident.
look, just because I want a straight circle right now doesn't mean I'm not like that. I'm against gay circles. It's just like that's not what this show's calling for. We need a straight circle.
Gay circles matter. Gay circles matter.
You're making him drink.
Okay, we were listening to you. You were
Okay.
right. Perfect.
So yes, sacrifice.
Yes.
That wasn't a sacrifice. That was a murder.
Mm.
And she knows that. She just didn't word so well. I'm sure she was sincere in what she was trying to say, but that bitch doesn't know how to read a room. That was awful. That's one of the worst things. It's like, that's probably the worst positive thing that she could have said as a public statement concerning this topic.
Yeah.
I can word nor grammar. It made me furious and nauseous at the same time.
Yep. Like her Viking refrigerators. Same feeling.
Yeah. It's like she just handed like America an Epicac cupcake.
With Pepto as frosting.
The Pepto part's
Like this is
tolerable.
good enough, but there's a little bit that might make you feel better.
The frosting always does get the best of it, doesn't it? Gotta love me some Pepto. All right. Well,
And then she can store it in one of her $12,000 refrigerator freezers and not share it with the hungry.
It'll keep for a long time. It might still make you nauseous after a while, but
she'll make me nauseous after a while. So.
She's just so goddamn awful.
Out of touch.
Like,
did you see that her and her husband are in Congress? Her and her husband have invested and made more than anyone else in stock. In Congress. Hundreds of millions of dollars they make a year in stocks.
Yeah.
And insider trading.
I'm sure it's completely legitimate. I don't know.
Actually, it is because they made sure that those loopholes were available. Listen, this is all they did. I know that's the same face I want to make. I want to make it like this.
Only you got to see that face, Christy.
Okay, so what they did was they said, okay, this is becoming a problem, insider trading, because they get to know things before the public. So they were like, I know what we'll do. We'll just make it so that it's transparency, so that way people don't think we're doing anything in dark, smoky rooms. No, now we just know you're doing it in daylight. Like nothing else has changed. No laws have changed.
Look at what we can do.
Right. We get to look from the outside of the window as we're starving. Them inside making dinner, using money to spread the mayonnaise on their sandwich. Yeah. Which is kind of gross. I don't want that sandwich anyway.
Yeah. So this is just again, real quick, this Nancy Pelosi part is really, it's frustrating. Yes. I've made that clear. It frustrates me. I think she's a piece of shit as far as representative human beings go. But also this kind of out of touchness is all throughout our fucking Congress, right? Like they don't even know how to pretend to relate to the things that fucking matter to us. It's like I know it sounds a little bit like inflammatory and generic, but that's just how it feels. It feels like they're just so out of touch that they don't even care to pretend to care. Like she put so little thought into that, or she ran it by no one. Or by no one who's not a yes man. that was an atrocious statement. If I was her manager, I would fire her. Right? Which is kind of ironic because we should have that power. Anyway,
and she is one of the most powerful people on this planet right now. Let that
the planet.
run around your mind. Yeah, on the planet.
The planet. Oh, okay.
Mhm.
So
there.
behind the scenes, I have heard, and I hope maybe you can extrapolate on this a little more. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. I have heard that there's been talks that people in Congress, Democrats and Republicans alike, are happy with the conviction. They're happy with the guilty charge because they're hoping this winds down tensions, and also they're hoping that this takes the pressure off of them to actually give police reform, right? Change things.
No, you're spot on.
So I've heard this, and this is something I wanted to talk to you about. I haven't seen who behind the scenes is talking about this, just the general Democrats and Republicans. Do you know?
Tucker Carlson, I'm sure a lot of them just want
Great gut build.
They want it to calm down so they can go back to their normal. But that's the thing is that can't happen.
No. Why can't it happen, Christy?
Because another person, another kid, another Black human was shot again today. I was in the bathtub, so I didn't get a chance to even get the stats on that. I don't know if they came through. I don't think so. Excuse me very much. You saw me chug that soda? That's what I get. It comes, what goes down must come up. Wait, that's not how that works. Never mind. What goes up must come down, but that's not how that works. But gas, bubbly gas does come up. So y'all know what I mean. I went around my elbow to get there, but I made it all by myself. So no, if nothing changes, then nothing is going to change. And if you can't see that there is a problem, then you're not paying attention. If you're not angry, if your fists aren't fisting, then you're not paying attention. I see my daughter's face on that sweet boy with his hands up as they shot him. I see my friend's kid's face when Trayvon, if Skittles can be a gun, anything can be a gun. And all they have to say is, I was scared for my life. The Skittles were frightening. So, no, we
was
can't.
That part of? I didn't hear a Skittles thing.
Trayvon Martin. He was carrying Skittles and a Sprite. He went to go get Skittles and a Sprite for his brother. That's what
I didn't know that's what he was holding.
Yep.
That's the first time I've actually heard that one.
Yep.
I know. I've heard Trayvon Martin's name. I've heard his name. I know he's a what?
Because he was walking during twilight hours with a hoodie. He was frightening. And because he was frightening, the Skittles in his hand must have been a gun. So he had to die. Sorry, I was all tangled up there.
No, it's fine. So there's more. There's more. There's the 13-year-old boy who was shot.
That's what I'm talking about.
A
With
week
his
ago?
hands up, I can imagine my kid's face on them. What would you do as a 13-year-old when cops yell at you and tell you to freeze and put your hands up? You freeze and you put your hands up. And then he must have known because he was so scared he ran and they shot him in the back. He's not the only one that's been shot in the back. He's not the only one that's been shot trying to flee. He's not the only one that's been killed because they suffocated. It's not going to stop. It's going to take all of us Americans. Doesn't matter what color, what creed, what religion or non-religion. It's going to take all of us to stand up and say, that's it. We're over it. You can't kill our kids anymore. You can't kill unarmed people. And you can't just pull someone over because they look suspicious. There has to be a reason. Or they have an air freshener hanging from their rearview mirror. Now, apparently in that area, you're not allowed to have them hanging in your rearview mirror. Okay, fine. Pull him over. Tell him he can't have it. He removes it. Carry on your way. Nobody has to die. You have to want to have killed somebody in order for an air freshener to make you kill somebody. You don't just like, that air freshener was the last one. Someone's dying. Like you have to have the mentality of nobody better fuck with me today. You know, and those people need to be weeded out. We cannot have cops like that.
Right. So I do want to go over cops like that a little bit here because there are a lot of bad seeds, right? I kind of want to go through each one of these examples. I wish we really had a good way to show the videos as we were talking about these. We need to try and get that. I could probably show it without the audio, but we'll just discuss it for now. The shooting of Adam Toledo back on, I think it was the 16th of April. He's the kid who was running through the alley. Someone he was with handed him a gun.
Right.
The officer yelled for him to stop. The boy took off because I think it was like 3:30 in the morning or something like that. It was late. He shouldn't have been out. We know all that.
Right.
So the cop tells him to stop and turn around now. He's screaming at him to do that. Adam stops. He throws the gun behind him before he even turns around. He throws it behind him, behind a fence, turns, puts his hands up, and by the time his fingers are extended, the officer shoots him. So what I want to point out in each of these cases that we talk about tonight, just quickly, is did the officer do their job? And I think at that point, in this instant, it is clear that the officer fucked up doing his job.
And then
because he had his gun drawn, you can tell.
Safety off.
Especially by the speed.
Finger on trigger, safety off.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, maybe his safety was on. It does not take long to unsafety it.
You're right. But I mean,
it was definitely drawn.
I could see by glancing at the video that he was not a teen, a kid, like about to be a teen, but he was a kid. He is a kid. Why would that be your first thing?
Yeah. So here's a couple reasons which you can discuss with people. I'm saying this because depending on the news source that you watch, they stop the video at different points.
Get a different news source.
Yes. This one's really disgusting because the Rational National, David Doyle, he'll stop the footage when his hands are up. And this is after he's thrown the gun. I didn't catch him throwing the gun. Right? If you watch it on Fox, you do see him throwing the gun. And they stop it with the gun in his hand. And he's half turned, like passing it back, getting rid of it. Because he does not want to be shot today. He's a boy. He was running because he was scared, and he should have been. He was out late, and he was scared out of his mind. The cop was chasing him, screaming at him. He's like, fuck, I have to comply.
Right. And
I have to comply.
cops are the scariest thing out there at night. I mean, think about 3 kids, a couple kids at night at 3 o'clock in the morning. You'd probably feel safer with a gun. Don't get me wrong. That's the fucking problem.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. But did he deserve to die?
I mean, absolutely not, right? Like, you and I agree
Or
there.
even be shot?
No. And so the issue is the police officer should have known as a professional that if you go and chase this boy at night and you have your gun drawn,
you'll probably
you are planning to use your gun. If he stopped and turned around, he did what you said, and then you shot him. That's murder. He complied. You killed him. You have done your job wrong. And when your job is to protect and serve, and you're a police officer with a badge and power, that means you've committed murder. Like, it's a fuck up. I'm sure he felt bad as soon as he did it, but that's too bad. It's still murder. Like, he prepped himself to shoot him because his gun was out, and he chased a kid at 3:30 in the morning.
A kid too.
And he wasn't feeling confident enough to not have his gun out while he did it.
Right.
Like, no matter how you spin it, if you put yourself in the cop's shoes, like, it's just not good enough. Like, he just did his job wrong. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
And it sucks. I mean, like, I do kind of feel for this officer because...
No, I do. You're a human.
Yeah.
I'm a human. He has to forever know that he killed a kid. Someone's mother is never going... This whole family is fucking never going to be... Yeah, I feel bad for him too.
Yeah.
I
don't know if he cares.
That kind of training is non-existent because I'm not a cop. And if I had to show up where there were 3 boys and one of them looked like they had a gun, I would try to de-escalate it and then find out why they're not at home. Because obviously the problem isn't this right now, what's going on. The problem is way bigger than this. What's their home life like? Did they even do their homework? Do they have a place to do their homework? Are they eating? Do they have a safe place? It's way bigger than that fucking gun at that one point where he got killed. It's the system. The reason why these kids were probably out there making money so that they could survive as well. I mean,
well, the surviving part didn't work.
No, it didn't. And you can't fix one.
No. There's another instance. This one did not result in a murder. I wanted to talk about the elderly woman with dementia. That was the first video that was in that playlist I sent you.
Yeah.
That was beyond disgusting. I don't do it like I watch a lot of stuff, especially to like prepare for this show every week.
Right.
And a lot of it's like some pretty good human rights violations.
Oh yeah.
Disgusting stuff. But like this one really made me like cry. like pretty sobby. It was the officer assaulted an elderly woman with dementia because
how dare he?
Because she stole, I think it was $13.88 of product from Walmart. Okay.
She put it in her stuff. Like she didn't even like sneak it. You guys, I want you to know she wasn't like sneaking it out. She just put it in her stuff and was walking around and then just walked out with it.
Yeah.
And then the Walmart took it from her, made her pay for it. Wouldn't let her pay for it. And then the cop did. What did they do, Mac?
The officer stopped her. It looks like she was walking home. Walking home, in the street. Like, I don't know if she was supposed to have her car or not. It was kind of strange. It was very strange. And the officer like stopped her. She wouldn't stop. She just kept walking. And he's like,
Yeah, she
guess
said
who
she was
stop?
going
And she's
home.
like, I'm going home. And she just almost all
I
she
know,
repeated
I know.
was, I'm going home.
Yeah.
And that's all she could say. She was just stuck in this mindset, I'm going home. And
Oh,
like, you could tell right away that like something wasn't right. Maybe if you're really a cynic, you could say she was on drugs, right?
yeah, but
Right? If you're a cynic.
yeah.
But even if
Her
someone's on
age and
drugs,
the way that she, you could just tell it wasn't that.
no, it's not. And I want to be clear, I'm not saying that. I'm
No,
saying
but
more
like,
a right winger who cops do no wrong kind of
right.
people.
Or if a cop could say, well, I thought she was on drugs. Really, dude? Really? You see people on
She
drugs
was
all the time.
she
Was
was
she
being
hitting on some? Like, I don't, it's the only way she could be on drugs.
there's a difference and a similarity here. There's not a difference, we'll say, between not complying with police orders and maybe resisting arrest. All right. You can not comply, and they could say that's resisting arrest, even if you're just doing it verbally and you just continue walking. They could say you're resisting arrest, and so I would say stretching it, you can make that case. Saying that someone is not complying and they're being combative, it's not the same thing. She was not complying. It was very clear that something was odd to someone just walking up to the situation.
Mm-hmm.
And he just grabs her, he slams her down. As soon as he cuffs her, you can see through her clothes. Her elbows are bleeding profusely.
Terrified.
She
had no idea what was going on.
And
Yeah.
all she said
He dislocated her shoulder.
her
She had to go
shoulder.
to the hospital.
Yes. And he just did not let up. Even the other cop who came, the female officer, she like helped him like grab her like a shoulder lock.
She was a nasty cunt too.
Yeah,
I have no problem calling her that.
And she looked less comfortable, but she's also like, what the fuck's her problem? I don't know. Once you figure out what her fucking problem is, because
First of all, even if she had a problem and was on drugs and was belligerent, you don't harm people like that. You don't dislocate a little frail old lady's shoulder. He's a big ass grown man. He could put his arms around her like this and hold her still with no problems.
Right, but which would also be bad, right? Like especially for someone in that mental state, you don't want to do that, because then maybe she would assault you. Because
right, I mean, or if they both came on, she would definitely feel attacked because there was two of them. That's why when Max says defund the police, we're not talking about taking money necessarily away from the whole program. We're just saying, here's the whole program. Why don't we take these cops right here that have 16 different infractions from harming people, and they're not cops anymore. And instead we hire people that actually deal with stuff like this. So two cops will get called and show up, and so will a mental health therapist. And so will, a special care and their doctor and maybe a family member. And it will be taken care of kindly and respectfully. And the help that person may need will get got. And those cops now know this person and know that this is going on. And now they're more informed and they're able to actually recognize in other people something that may be wrong, that the care group needs to be called as well. And they work as a team. God damn it. We have guns everywhere. Do you know how many modern countries cops don't even carry guns? Like they don't even have a gun. There's no reason to. They have their taser, they have their baton, they have the authority. And if they need guns, there are special officers that can be called in with guns.
Yeah.
What? everybody has a gun, and then the cops have guns, and then everybody has guns, and it's just like, do you guys understand that our government has drones, and so none of that shit matters? Like, come on, let's be rational. I do think that the saying defund the police scares the shit out of conservatives, and that was the whole fucking point. That was the whole point. Nobody wants to not have cops, except for there are some people that don't, but they're not saying they don't want to have protection. They just want to have community protection. And I have anarchist friends. I agree with their ideology. Anarchism has a lot of tenets that are beautiful, and I agree with many of them. I don't have a problem with collective taxes paying for a well-regulated militia that answers to us, doesn't show up to go around Goldman Sachs and protect it from the rioters. It protects the rioters from Goldman Sachs. That's what I want. And
we want. I think we'd be on the same page by saying we want community policing, right?
Yeah.
That being when you have.
I mean, no, that's not true though. I'm okay with FBI and detectives. I like our court system when it works. If we have honest people in there, I do. I just want peace officers. I like how Costa Rica, they don't have a military. I'm not saying that's anywhere near where America's going to go at all. We have military. I'm just saying, let's not have a military police. Let's have, the police officers that we have, instead of carrying, all these weapons of war, they instead carry a baton and their taser, and they take courses, and we get caregivers to go along with on these rides. I'm not saying abolish them or instead have the community be the police, because not everybody can do that work. And even want cops to have to go through college. I don't think you should be able to be a cop before the age of 30.
And I could get behind that, at least to a point.
Or 27.
I would like to.
Hers is 30.
So
mine's 27. Stacy's 30. She thinks they should be 30 and have gone through at least 2 years of college. And I say 27 with a minimum of 2 years of college, or special programs for those who couldn't afford. But I think college should be for everyone, and psychology, you should have to take psychology and childcare and basic fucking.
You already have to take psychology courses.
And not everywhere.
Basic ones. And maybe not everywhere. You're right.
Not everywhere.
So I do want to go back to this community policing idea thing real quick and just kind of state my terms.
I like it.
Just to be clear, what I mean when I say I'm for community policing, and that is, you do have a police force, but the police force works with the community. Like, they go to city council meetings, and the community tells the police how to police the community. You still have officers. Not everyone has to do it, but the community says, this is what you do with drug offenders. This is what you do with, perpetrators of violence, domestic violence. Like, this is how we want you to police us. This is the standards that we have and we want to live by. This is how we'd like you to enforce it. Yes, Christy.
Would we, as a community, elect
camera down, by the way? Say what?
Would we, as a community, then elect our policemen and women? Would we be the ones who elected them, or would they be drafted? Because that's a huge question.
Yeah. To be honest, I hadn't thought of that. The community policing idea is something I heard yesterday while doing a lot of research, and I'm like,
I have a lot of friends who are anarchists,
I like that.
And this is what they talk about. Yeah. Because they want the community to take care of everything.
Right. And I think having them elected is a good idea. A great idea.
Yeah, especially if people say, yeah, I'd volunteer for that. Then your name goes in a hat of choices that the people could choose from. I actually like that.
Yeah.
Gold star.
We need ranked choice voting though. So you get that. And then we don't have to choose between like sheriffs like we do locally, right? It's still, we don't have a lot of choice, even in local elections. This was like the
Our
red party or the blue party. You can
Yeah,
choose.
our democracy is a farce in so many ways. I mean,
Yeah.
like the whole filibuster thing. There's a person who's not elected, who's appointed, who would decide these things. What's the point then? Like, what
Yeah.
are we all doing running in a circle, like a rat in a circle?
Yeah.
So yeah, okay. So I like
So,
that one.
yeah.
I like the electing part.
I'm glad you like that. I like when we're on the
Matt
same page. Makes me happy.
Popo force.
Purple source. Another thing. All right, so we have the 13-year-old. We have Derek Chauvin. We have the elderly woman. Another thing that I wanted to talk about was make sure I'm not missing one before I get to the. I wanted to talk about.
Sorry.
Oh, no, you're okay.
Drinker.
There was a police officer, Officer Gutierrez, who was fired after pulling an army lieutenant over for having no plates, which was temporary
video.
plates on a new vehicle. Okay.
Do you have that link? Can you put that link in the chat for everyone? Because
Sure.
holy shit, this
Is that
guy
your favorite?
serves our country today. He serves today. He is an active military personnel. Thank you for your service, sir.
Yes.
I am so sorry you had to go through this. These goddamn pigs. Wait till you see this. And I don't mean pigs as a derogatory for cops. I mean pigs as in they're pigs, a derogatory for men. Like they're just awful. Oh.
Shuffle. Yeah. So
you don't have to watch it now, or you can.
Yeah,
I'll be the boss of you if you want.
Yeah, just pull this up in another tab. If you guys want the full playlist that I sent Christy of the things that I based my research off of, I will send it to you. You guys just
I will too, because I have it.
Twitter. Yes, at me on Twitter at Gray Skeptic Mac.
Yeah, Messenger. I won't get it on Twitter.
True. Yes, Messenger for Christy. So the thing there was, this was just like complete racism. That's pretty much all that was. And when the cop realized that he's trying to perform like a false arrest, he says, okay, I've talked to my captain. We're not going to arrest you. You don't need this on your record. I mean, if you want to fight this, which is completely your right as a United States citizen, then I'll go ahead and continue with the arrest now. And it doesn't matter to me. It's not going to hurt me at all. So if you want to fight this, I'll go ahead and I'll arrest you anyways, even though I can't. Basically just like, yeah, my superior officer said I fucked up, but so I'm going to let you go. And unless you're going to tattle on me for assaulting you. And he put in the report that when he tried to open the lieutenant's door, that he assaulted him and swatted his hand away, and he didn't.
He's a lying little bitch.
It's so this one's really important because it's so clear. This video is really nice.
And I promise you guys, all of us have seen this guy in high school. Mac, you've gone to high school with someone just like this guy. Yeah, all of us have.
I know who it is. You know who you're talking about.
Right. They're still this way. And I think that, when I was in high school, it just was the way it was. We couldn't call them out in real time. We didn't have cell phones like that, but we do now. And it's our responsibility not to hurt them, not to do anything physically, emotionally, mentally abuseful, anything, but to call it out and show people this is wrong. This is wrong. And here's why it's wrong, because you wouldn't want it done to your child. Now, imagine this guy has a badge and all the power, and that's where we are right now. You explaining, I mean, I watched it. I know what you're talking about, the whole video, but the way you just described it was like, every kid coming to talk to me about some bully when my kids were in school. And it's just like the circle never ends because nobody's talking about it. We have to say no. And can we come up with a test? I don't know, like are you a bully? Check yes or no.
Yeah, check yes or no.
Something so simple that they like if they have to go, well, they're what? No, you can't be a cop.
Yeah. It's
Sorry,
when you're
I
a
just
cop, you have to be a professional.
right. And I've met some amazing cops. I mean, I met a really great cop who was a great part of my life as a teenager. I was on the streets. My mom had told me I had to get out. He took me home and told my mom if she ever did that again, he'd charge her for neglect. Like he was not playing. Yeah, he was not playing. But I could go hang out at the police station. I did all the time at age 14. I had a fake ID. I worked at the El Salvador Dali Museum that said I was 18. I was 14. He took it from me when he found out and I had to go back home. But I was trying to make it on my own because I didn't have a choice. And it could have been bad. It could have been real bad. Walking St. Pete at night in that area, it gets pretty shady and there are hookers on the street. A lot of bad things could have happened. And I've met some amazing cops who got into it because, first of all, there weren't too many choices and they wanted to do good. And then they also were the responsible kind. They knew there was a pension. And there's nothing like feeling like a hero. The ladies like that, just good American people. So guys, don't think that we're blanket stating, fuck the police or anything like that, but fuck these police, the bad ones. And that's the bad ones of anything. But when you have power and weapons and you abuse it, you're the worst kind of bad person. And the kind of people who get into police work to get back at people, to show
They're dangerous.
They're
Dangerous.
They're dangerous.
I mean, maybe they're not even bad people. Maybe they're just like someone who get bad guys because they were bullied in school, right?
But you know what? They also could hurt people because people hurt.
They're dangerous. Yeah, like you don't like.
Let's see.
There's so many things I want to say here. The road to hell is paved with good intentions, right? One of my favorite villains. For those of you who don't know that I like comics, one of my favorite villains is Thanos.
Yes.
In the MCU.
So complicated.
Yeah, because he's the good guy in his eyes. Right?
Right.
Like there's
like Trump.
This is not like Trump.
I had to.
Thanos is way better than Trump.
Oh wait. Like Ben Shapiro.
Oh God, stop. You're killing me. I'm gonna die. My chest is gonna explode. This is a large part of the reason why I had made my channel Gray Skeptic in the first place, is because I really don't buy into this good and evil concept. Like I think they're good for explanatory reasons, but not to take really seriously. No. They're like the units of measure. Like they're not nouns. And Thanos is a really good example of that. He is doing something inexplicably horrendous, vile, evil, right? Mm-hmm. Evil. You could say evil.
But he believes in it with his entire being.
Because he thinks it's for good. He wants to kill, not even kill. I don't think he like the word.
No, to
kill.
him it's just like it's extinguished. Just,
he wants to extinguish half the life in the universe.
Right.
And on the flip side, there will be no more empty tummies.
Right. No, right? I know that movie made me question that question right there for
Yeah.
weeks and weeks
And it
and weeks.
should. It should. That's utilitarianism. Utilitarianism isn't
The more
necessarily
you
bad.
know, insert rainbow.
Yeah. And
Um,
that's a means to an end, right?
that's one of those questions that I probably will ponder for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, you can absolutely raise the quality of life.
You know, the last 1 billion
for human
people
beings.
to this planet, because it took, hundreds and hundreds of billions of years for us to get here, right? Okay. The last 1 billion people, it took 12 years to get the last billion. You guys, we need to stop. Listen, maybe more scissoring and more gay sex. Maybe? I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Experiment. Wear a condom. Take the pill. 19 kids and counting, and the oil companies. I'm holding them responsible.
Yeah. I would like to point out that not to put in our chat, not a very, or how do you say it? I'm sorry. Not a very humane means, though. Speaking of Thanos.
Oh, of course not.
Like I said, I still consider him a villain myself, to be clear.
No, and I would
feel like I
stop
should have to do a lot of like Marvel apologetics here, but
right. No, I would do everything I could to stop that from happening. But God,
yeah, you would.
If I didn't have empathy, that question would be very easy to fix.
Oh yeah.
It would be what's best for humanity as a whole, for the planet as a whole, for all the species that are here as a whole.
Yeah, and even though that is not the way that I would want to do things, I think it is. It's at least logically
Your kitty
valid.
cat said no.
Meow, meow.
He said,
Not me. Not me. Leave me and my food.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it is. I think
Good
it is merited
question.
to say that the argument is valid. Like utilitarianism is valid. Right? Is
Yeah.
it sound?
I wish my friend Dexter was here, who was here last week, because these are things he likes to ponder. And he's in the military and he's a police officer. So it would be great to get him. He said he would love to come on and have a conversation. So
that would be fantastic.
he travels all over the place. He's a dear friend to me, like adopted son. So I just think it's so great that he's asking all these questions, and it just so happened that he was like, wait, you have a podcast? And so he is reading like Marx stuff right now and utilitarian, like all this. But he's like in his 20s. Can you imagine where you and I would be if we started then?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like we would be Cornell West right now. No, I'm just kidding.
That'd be fantastic. I love music.
The
okay.
Lord, our Lord and Savior, asked question I like to ponder is, what made Thanos think he deserved to be in the half that lived?
You know,
narcissism of a god.
I would offer
Good question.
The justification that I think maybe he would potentially 50-50 that in his head, just if I go, I go.
Well, he thinks that he's the only one rational enough to keep things fixed, so he would definitely make sure that he stays.
Potentially. I know that the comic book version is much different. He snaps his fingers just to like impress Lady Death because he wants to get with her. But anyway, yeah, who doesn't?
Duh.
She's kind of dark, but anyways.
And he's not. Come here, honey. Let's go kill half of mankind. Ooh, I'm so hot.
He makes himself a wife, though. You didn't see that in the movie. Okay. The last example, and I feel like this one was really important. If I can find it. Yes. Okay. So this one was very new. Very sad. I'm going to give you guys the link to this one too. There's a black teen shot in Columbus, Ohio, my home state, just the other day, like 2 days ago, the 22nd, so maybe even just yesterday. And I would really appreciate if you guys watched a lot of these videos that we are talking about. Also, I see the Sindel quote in there. That's fantastic. If you guys watch this video, an officer walks up on a scene where there are multiple people fighting out in this residential area, out in the yard. A lady in pink holding the dog like comes up to the officer and like says something about this girl's going crazy, or something like she said she tries to address the situation. Just then, that girl she's talking about like lunges, and like a girl flies back towards the officer. Another dude comes up and kicks that girl who fell in the head. The officer's like, stop. The other girl who had pushed the girl who had fallen comes up with her knife and goes to stab the girl in pink holding a dog, who is now up against a vehicle.
Who's a teenager, right? She's a child. She's a teenager.
They all all the faces are blurred in the video that I'm sharing. I can't.
Right. Yeah, they're underage.
I would imagine so.
Yes.
They are. Yeah. From what I've heard, they are. Yeah. I just haven't confirmed it myself. But I know that the girl who is holding a knife is underage, but she is lunging at this person to kill them. Like, it doesn't look like she's just gonna like swing. She just basically threw a person at a police officer and is going to stab another chick in the head. Right.
Yeah, she's not making a sandwich.
No, she's not making a sandwich.
Trying to cut a bitch is what she's trying to do.
Yeah. And this officer tells her 2 or 3 times, stop, something like that. And then push 4 rounds in her.
I'll post it. You posted it already.
Yeah, I did.
See,
this one. So the mayor and the Columbus police have made statements saying, we're not happy with how this played out. We wish things would have ended differently. I know that LeBron James posted something like, Columbus, you're next, we're coming for you. And then he retracted it. I haven't followed up much on it. There are Black Lives Matter protests going on in Columbus. At least there were yesterday. Watching these videos from Derek Chauvin, George Floyd, Eric Garner, the lieutenant that I've mentioned today, the elderly woman who a witness said looked like a little girl because she was 70 years old, weighed 80 pounds.
Guys, 80 pounds.
The 13-year-old boy, Adam Columbus. These, especially George Floyd's murder, these are much more clear. This one in Columbus, being honest as we need to be, I feel like maybe this cop did the best that he knew to do. There was not much time. I would have much preferred that he went for his stun gun, right? But he wasn't a real life and death situation, not for himself, but when he shot her, like, there wasn't much time. Like, I try to put myself in the story, as I feel like you should do.
And I'm trying to do that right now. It's very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But you're right. You should everyone should always try to do that.
Yeah, because I mean, like, I feel like you said you did when Adam Columbus, I think his name was, let me check. Toledo. I'm sorry. Adam Toledo. You said, like, you see Izzy's face there, like, right? And I feel like we need to do that because that's someone else's daughter that she was trying to stab. And yes, I know that that officer shot someone else's daughter, but as a martial artist myself, someone who knows how to detain, I'm just like, George Floyd should have never fucking been handled like that.
No,
Like I feel, and I
no.
was talking about this with Rachel last night. I feel like I hold the people in the crowd who watched George Floyd be murdered. I hold them more responsible for
Stacey
George
says the same
Floyd's.
thing. But I do have to say, there was a woman right behind the video that we all see is there's a car and then him with the knee on his neck. There's a woman right here who is screaming for him to get off of. But she's a girl. But Stacey says she would have either got shot or went to jail because she would have went over and pushed him off. Like, and if there's 50 or 20 of us, they can't kill us all at once. This is where we have to be, people. I know that sounds crazy and that sounds radical.
It's not.
But you can eat. I can't watch that.
That's the thing. It's not.
9
It's
minutes.
not radical.
Okay.
Like they should have pushed him off. Like this Columbus shooting. If you watch the video, it is wobbly. But when the camera's on the action, you can tell there's not a lot of time to make a decision.
No,
I really do put more onus on the people who watched and only screamed at Derek Chauvin and his backup than I do on this officer. And that's sad. Like, I wish it would have turned out differently. I would hope that officer does too. But that is not clean cut. It's just not.
No.
And
well, that woman who was screaming was just recently interviewed, and she still can't sleep. She has nightmares that she will never forgive herself. So,
and I'm sure she's not the only one. I know I couldn't. I it's an awful feeling. I remember when I watched
calling for his mama, this big huge guy. Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to handle it either. Any person wouldn't. We've become so numb that for 9 minutes people watched and said, no, don't. Nobody did anything because they have the guns. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Fuck that.
No, we're America. We have guns too.
Right?
Right?
Like, I don't have a gun, and I just don't understand.
Neither do I.
We have people calling the police on the police, and nothing's being done. And at what point, America, are you going to say, oh, God, another shooting today? It was another kid. Well, maybe it is something. Oh, no, it was just another coincidence. When are you going to wake up and see this is the way that it is because that's the way that the training is?
How many bad apples do we need to see to show that we need a systemic change?
Oh, let's start working with pears instead of apples.
Right?
Obviously, they're not working.
There's a comparison that I thought would be really important to make, and I think Christy will really like it. So,
yay!
I have a reason to make it.
Christy don't want to cry no more.
Right?
That's my sad
It
face.
might still make you cry. It might still make you cry. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So we have these body cams now. We didn't have them like a few years back. A lot of cops wanted them, a lot of cops didn't, and you can guess why either way.
Yeah, I know why they wouldn't want them.
Yeah, we see these actions now. We see it now. It is harder to deal with. We want to protest more. And it's because we see what's going on. What I want to liken this to is the Korean War.
Okay,
When we could see what was going on there. And in the Vietnam War, we don't want to do it anymore. We don't want this. When we see what the people who serve us do.
Oh, when all the soldiers came back and said, we're not fighting in no more rich man's wars.
Yeah. We
Yeah,
don't want it. We don't like it. We need to
Solid.
change.
I'm with you.
We just, it's a problem because we see it.
Good.
And if that's,
They
and
try
if,
to hide it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the lie. That's the lie I just told you.
Mhm.
Is this a problem because we see it?
Mhm.
It's been a
Why
problem.
is Snowden in
and now-
trouble? What
Yeah.
did Snowden do? Snowden didn't do anything. He just
There's
showed
nothing
us
in it.
what our government was doing. That's why he's in trouble.
Yeah. It should
So-
not be trouble, and it should not sound radical when you point out bad things that powerful
Right, but
people.
it does in this country. I'm like, it's unjust. My neighbors upstairs, we're good friends. We just are. But he says all the time, talking about himself, I'm a filthy capitalist and I know it. And then when he introduced me to his friends, and it's unjust, he goes, she's a dirty commie. But he doesn't, he says socialist programs have never worked. They never will. They're just a beautiful idea. He fled from Colombia to here. So his life journey is so much different than mine. And he's also 27. I remember saying dumb shit at 27, like, why don't they just run the country like a big multinational corporation? Like, just get rid of the fat and just, yeah, I said that. I don't ever want, that's the dumbest idea ever. However, yes, Mac, in the back of the class, speak up, honey.
I remember when I was 27.
Listen, I'm going to punch you in the throat.
That was the last year that I blamed a lot of the bad things in the world on people not being religious enough.
Yeah. Well,
Right?
I called
Saying
26
that's the source of all evil.
sex. So our 20 sexes were different.
Yeah, they were different. But the point is, when you don't look into something
Oh, I was looking into it.
and you blame it because someone else tells you it's the problem, that's the problem, right?
No, it is.
You know, where he's from, and I'm not even just speaking in Colombia at all. I'm saying his neighborhood in Colombia, his family, his home life.
A lot of them are here and they're Trump supporters.
Yeah. So maybe it's a larger community. Maybe it's not.
Well, you got to understand where they come from. They barely make it. And then here, you're told here, capitalism and nationalism are so intertwined that it's your nationality. If capitalism is attacked, you're being attacked. Your nationality is being attacked. And we've really got to work on that.
That's
because
my point.
Any system would work.
Yeah,
and also,
it's what you're
he
told.
doesn't understand any of those things. And so I didn't either. God, the word commie I didn't know what the fuck it meant. I just knew I didn't like it and I shouldn't.
Yeah.
How ignorant. I mean, I can laugh about it now because I was in my 20s and in your 20s. I mean, but I'm so glad, when I first started getting into politics, I mean, really, really getting into it was before Obama became a president. He hadn't even been nominated yet. It was the guy had thrown the shoe at Bush, that whole era. Okay, so I'm really, really getting into it. But what I listened to and what I read was mostly 90% I already agreed with. And I was fine with that. Sometimes I would be uncomfortable if it was something I didn't, like what? So I'd, look at a few things and then make up my own opinion, and a lot of cognitive dissonance, of course. But it wasn't until, honestly, when I started getting into things that, maybe some of you guys will go, oh, I felt that way too, and I won't be alone. It was when I wanted to look into something that made me feel uncomfortable, like communism, but I didn't want to tell anybody yet because I needed to understand it better yet. That once that started happening, And then I started listening to lectures, and then I started reading all kinds of just letters from people that I love, like Lenin and Marx, and then going past that and letting Das Kapital be read to me as I read along, because it's a dense book and it was so hard to follow. And I thought, okay, well, I don't hate it. And pretty much all it is just a criticism of capitalism. Okay. So then I can go back, and then I've taken a couple of the MIT courses. And then once that started to happen and I could understand it, I realized that I didn't know shit and I had a lot to learn. And that's when that uncomfortableness dropped away completely. And I don't care. I can tell people I'm learning about this and I don't know jack about it yet. I'm excited.
Yeah.
But it took being uncomfortable, and now I don't care if someone says, "Oh my God, you like Marx?" Right. What I do you know? What do you know about him? Most of the time, they don't know anything except for he started World War II and killed all the something. They don't know.
It's like a Trump. It's very much like a Trump supporter saying, "Did you read the transcripts? You got to read the transcripts. Did you read the transcripts?" Well, no.
Yeah, did you? No,
No,
but I'm gonna.
I didn't personally, but like I know people who did, and I believe them.
They haven't even read the Constitution, Mac.
Have you read the whole thing?
Right.
Well, I read the whole thing.
They're like, but it's so long. I'm like, oh my gosh, they realize it's not long, right?
Yeah. Okay, so trying to get back on track here.
What?
Yeah, track. So the thing that I wanted to skip earlier. Hey, we're getting to that linear circle.
Yay.
We're getting to the end of the show, guys.
You always do it, just organically. You're so good at this.
No one even noticed.
Everyone noticed.
Derek Chauvin, or Chauvin. I've been saying Chauvin. I'm going to keep saying Chauvin because I think that's how it should be said. He doesn't even know how to say his name. Killed a man. You can't trust him. I don't know how long he should be in jail. I think TYT say that he should go to jail for the rest of his life.
No.
You just said no. And
No.
I also disagree with that. I don't know how long he should go there. And I have a hard time measuring it because I don't think we have a just justice system. I think it is hard to measure. I've said before, I don't think anyone should go to jail longer than 20 years. Because
I like 22, like the Nordic, like
is it
Norway.
there?
That doesn't mean that in 22 years you get out. That means in 22 years they do a review, and the max you can get at a time is 22 years. So some people end up doing life, but they do have, listen, if you know there's no fucking way ever you're getting out, why not just end it?
Yeah.
So that's cruel and unusual punishment, which is illegal in our Constitution, by the way.
Yeah, and I've
had 3 sips. I'm like, by the way.
I think for people like that, even because I really want. Damn it, Christy, kill me.
Yeah, such a cheap.
I really want a just justice system. I want one that's based on not on punishment, but on rehabilitation, and also you can sprinkle in some punishment in there. That's the thing.
Yeah, but what do you consider punishment? Because I think going around cleaning up graffiti and cleaning up litter is punishment. I mean,
I think that's just community service. I think time away from your family and friends.
Mm-hmm.
Look at it this way. I haven't been able to say it on this show yet.
Say it, Matt.
How has everyone liked the first couple months in a quarantine last year? I remember people likening that to prison, like people who wanted to kill Whitmer in Michigan. People liken that to prison. You know what? It's like house arrest, and that's a punishment. You are being punished. You are being kept from a lot of things in your life. And some people are put on house arrest for years. And that can, depending on how much they force you to be isolated, it can still be torturous.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying we should put everyone on house arrest, but I'm saying I don't think it's just being sweet and nice to all the criminals to give them like HBO and a nice bed and their own potty.
Of course. No,
Like,
but there should be some way of bettering themselves, whether it's
right.
education all day or if they want to do manual labor, there are tons of
resources
places they can, take the graffiti off of trains or paint, or there just is. Our infrastructure is failing. So let's educate them to help fix with things like bridges, and not slave labor. Do not get me wrong. I do not agree with that.
I think it's very minuscule. But if you hated being cooped up during quarantine, you've got like a lick of a taste of what, and I hate to say it because it's really not close enough, but a lick of what it's like to be locked up, right, in prison. And I'm overinflating it.
Yeah,
but imagine that for an
prison, you're by
entire
yourself. Prison, you're with a whole bunch of people that never leave you alone.
no, kind of like your kids.
The ones that say, "Go ahead and pick up that soap, boy."
Yeah. Imagine that. Just the quarantine. Imagine just a quarantine for 10 years. If you can. Like 10 years is actually quite hard to imagine. Everything that you have to miss in 10 years.
I don't want to. My mom would be 70 something. No.
Yeah. How old would Izzy be?
No. She's
now
not
imagine
allowed to be 33.
Now imagine it 10 years ago.
She was
imagine you missed the last 10 years. And people go through that, right? And like, yeah, maybe we can say that they deserve it, but like there's only so much of that I think a person actually can deserve.
And I mean, non-violent crime is different than violent crime. It just
they deserve none of that.
No.
Because remember, you're not only
doing life for a drug charge.
No,
ever.
Because you are not only punishing the person who did the crime, you're punishing the small children that don't have a father anymore.
Right. Well,
someone who doesn't have a husband, a wife.
Who wrote that bill, right? Who wrote that goddamn bill? Joe Biden. And every private prison gets anywhere between 50 something and 70 something $1,000 a year per inmate. Those inmates will never make that much in a year in their life. Now, if they were to go to state prisons get 30 to 40,000 per person, which still is more than most of them will make in a year. So it's a very profitable business, especially if you can get a private prison who the state signs something saying that they need to keep it at least 99% full. So if it falls below, the state uses our tax money to pay for those beds, even though nobody's in them. Think about that. That's how lobbyists work in Washington. That's the bullshit we're up against.
So I don't know Derek Chauvin's home life. I didn't look into it. I'm just going to suppose he has the American dream. He has one boy, one girl, and a wife. And I'm sure that's what he's worried about missing when he's locked up, whether it be 2 years or 35 or what the fuck ever they choose. I don't think you need a lot more than that. Like stealing time from a person, that's like the most valuable commodity that they have. And we really need to rethink our criminal justice system. I think Derek Chauvin and the state he is relatively currently, he's a disgusting person for what he did. And I think he should be punished for it. I don't like how we punish people in this country. If anyone dislikes the maximum or minimum sentencing that this man could get, you need to rethink how you think of our criminal justice system and our prison system, because that's the problem. That's a huge problem. This really is probably in the top 3 of root causes in this entire conversation. Is just our criminal justice system and our prison system. Like what these cops, if they don't kill their victims, what they put them through later in life, and what they dodge is what they tend to put people into. It's messed up. It should be more balanced, and I don't think it should just be balanced, because I think that's what conservatives want, is like, oh yeah, we'll make it more fair. You're like, whoever we have to throw under the bus will get the equal.
We'll just put more people in prison.
Yeah, we'll put more people in prison. Like, I mean, like, yeah, we hate these black people, but we'll make sure to make it look like we hate these other people who like do bad things to them too.
Jeez.
Yeah, and it'll save our butts, and it will continue to make profit in this and these in this criminal justice system. It's really perpetual. It's a revolving door, and we need to like break it off like it's rotating hinge. I don't think Derek Chauvin deserves the maximum sentencing, because I can only imagine it's atrocious.
I say that, well, if one's 25 and the other one's 25 and then one's 10, he's definitely going to do 25.
He should.
I agree.
I mean,
and then in 25 years,
in comparison,
see what's up.
I think Derek Chauvin should get one of the worst sentences that we have to offer comparatively to anyone else.
Yeah, just
I think everyone else, including him, should have lesser sentencings. I really want to make myself clear. I really do, because I think this is incredibly important.
Yeah, I think it should set a precedent. That way cops understand. They always want to set a precedent with a young black boy. Well, if he's going to be selling, coke or crack, then we're going to set a message with him and no one else will do it. Well, fine. Let's flip the script and we'll give you such a harsh charge that other cops won't do it either. And then they'll realize that that's not how that works. And hopefully they'll just throw that away.
Yeah. Doing or selling drugs is nowhere near as bad as murder.
No, it's not even bad. It's none of your business. Like, it's what someone does in the privacy of their own home.
Yeah. And
Jeez.
What was it? Like 8 officers have been convicted since like 2003.
Yeah.
From police shootings.
From police shootings.
There's a lot of police shootings.
There are a lot of
this topic is one of the most disgusting ones to me. I love to cover it because I'm passionate about it, but I really hate that it's a topic. This is something that I feel is so obvious, like the whole thing, the criminal justice system, the way that cops police us, and the drug war, we'll say. it's all real fucked, and it's not hard to make it better. I don't want to say solve. It's not hard to make better. And anyone at all, I'll put money on it. You name the price in the millions. I can make it better. It's so fucking easy to make it a little bit better. I challenge anyone. You're fucking stupid if you think I'm wrong. You're a fucking moron. Get help.
You're making me
Our
die.
system is jacked. Our system is fucking fucked up. It's disgusting. It's not hard to make it better.
It's very sad what's going on right now.
It is. And
I don't want to see another mom crying because she just can't wrap her mind around that her son's not going to come home again.
or her daughter.
Or her daughter.
Sometimes we have to explain
their
this.
nephew or their grandson.
Sometimes we have to explain this to the children. Right? And that's uncomfortable. So the media usually doesn't show that. It's there's so much more to these stories if you just sit down and think about it, or if you do what we tried to do here tonight. Imagine someone you love in that situation, either side, and you see that both sides are not handled accordingly. They're just not. It's
This is for Smitty. Hold on. That's my sexy look.
Christy, you ruined the moment with your sexy looks.
She's
Okay,
a natural born ruiner, Max. Sorry. That comes to her naturally.
He likes your eye makeup. It's fine.
That's why I had
It's
to
okay.
give him, all the looks like
Yeah.
a professional model.
All right. I've said my piece. I am good.
No, it was really rough. I had to smile for a minute or I was
No,
gonna cry.
No, it's fine.
There's too many babies. Too many babies. If there's a protest in your town, I'm not saying go out and be a part of it. Actually, I am. I'm saying go out and be a part of it. You don't have to march. Just go say hi. Stay 6 feet away from everyone. Make a poster. Don't make a poster. Talk to people. Don't talk to people. That nothing is going to change unless we help it change. And just being there, just letting other people know that they're not alone is everything. And boy, let me tell you, when I watch these protests, I see every goddamn color, every age, every religion, every background. I see children dancing. I saw water protectors in Minnesota. Water protectors were starting the protest, and the little babies were dancing. And in our lifetime, this is happening. This in the 70s and 60s, it was different. It was so much different. They talk about blood and soil, you right-wing fucktards. Blood and soil? Are you kidding me? Their blood and their soil of every color is in this ground. All of us built this country. And when I see these protests of the water protectors, and there's Asian Americans, and there's Asians, and there's people from India, and there's Indian Americans, and there's Native Americans mixed in all over the place. And then there's Mexican Americans, there's Mexicans, Hondurans, Ecuadorians, there's Italian. I mean, there's just gingers with the palest skin. There's girls with freckles. There's old ladies in wheelchairs. I mean, my mind is blown at how fucking beautiful America is. And that's worth fighting for. And if we can get that many types of people out there to say, Black Lives Matter, that's that simple. Stop killing them. We can do anything. Talk to people. Let them know that they're not alone. And it's okay if we believe different things. We all want the same thing. A safer, freer, fairer country for every single person that's here.
I'd like to remind everyone that, look.
No,
This
you can't make me.
Look.
Okay, I'll look a little.
This topic only matters as much as it does to your representatives.
Yeah. And I wanted to say, just in case she's listening, not to freak anybody out, but hello, Tulsi Gabbard. And I look forward, if you enjoy our podcast, to having you on and having a great discussion. Mac had no idea about any of this, so that face is everything I thought it would be. And I hope you do enjoy our podcast. We talk about some very serious stuff, and I do look forward to you saying yes and coming on and having a, as long as you want it, conversation. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour. It's up to you.
That would
That
be
being
neat.
said, back
I
to
would
Mac.
love that. I would super duper love that.
Just saying.
All right. All right. Dig it. Okay. Well, do you want to close us out?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Go see the Mortal Kombat movie because it's probably
You like
going to be
seafood?
awesome.
Right after
Are we
Tulsi
in first
Gabbard.
grade? I thought I was still in kindergarten.
Listen, when you talk about the sad things, sometimes you just got to bring it back to the basics. And seafood will be funny when I have grandkids. You know, I can't wait to teach them the basics.
Hey, Stacy. Not Stacy. Christy.
You
Hey,
want
Stacy.
you want to hit us out
Both
with
of
the humanist?
Hold on.
Humanist.
Hold on. I have a joke for you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Tell me.
Why did the socialists cross the road?
Oh no.
I don't know why.
Because he don't pay for it. Did you forget, Christy? You can close
That's really
it out.
funny.
You're funny.
All right.
All right, everybody, have a great night. Thanks for watching the show and stay humanist for God's sake.
Love you guys.